Hi, welcome to XLU Academy, Guwahati. My name is Swedan and I am a faculty in XLU.
So, welcome to today's topic, that is what is happening in the Lakshadweep. Why the Lakshadweep rules are against the protesters or local people. So, what are the rules, drafts which has been imposed by the administrator and even Ministry of Home Affairs wanted to take the review from the local protesters who are protesting against these rules. So what's happening in the Lakshadweep? We will see today's topic. So why the new rules in the Lakshadweeps have caused anger? Why they are causing anger? So new rules, whatever the new rules called by the administrator of the Lakshadweep has called an anger against these rules by the local protesters. So we will see, first of all, the Lakshadweep, which is known for, which is now facing a storm. Okay, actually, what is the Lakshadweep? Lakshadweep is a unique. See, Lakshadweep is unique. It is an alligatarian coconut tree owning society. Lot of coconut trees you will find in the Lakshadweep island, with little economic inequality, very little economic inequality, but very high, very high literacy rate is there, but at the same time unemployment is also there in the Lakshadweep. So it is surrounded by the coconut tree, alligatarian coconut tree owning society, that is. So here you see the Lakshadweep administration, now they are facing a storm over the draft rules. Whatever the draft rules which are prepared, now they are facing a storm, which are introduced by the administrator, has now provided a fresh rationale for its proposals, shifting from the public policy to public policy to public purpose, ignoring the public interest. Whereas the strategic issue is interplay. So strategically, Lakshadweep is also very, very important from the Indus perspective, and also ecologically fragile. It is ecologically fragility. Okay, cultural geography, insular cultural geography, and strategic location. So these are the importance of the Lakshadweep. Strategically, ecologically fragile, cultural geography. Now, why they are more focused, why their policy has been shifted from public policy or public purpose to the public interest, ignoring the public interest towards the interest of the certain sections of the society. What made these rules differ? Okay, why these local people are differing these, or they are against these rules? See, what are the new rules all about? We'll see. All about why the people are protesting, local people are protesting against these new rules, whether this protest is justice or not, that is right or not, we will see in this topic. So first, what are the new rules which have been brought? Four new rules has been brought: the prevention of anti-social activities and regulation, PASA. It is also called as Gunda Act. Okay, right? So PASA, Prevention of Anti-Social Activities Regulation Act. Now, why here? What are these? What are there in this? See, under this, administrator considers any individual creating public nuisance or against the public order. He is creating public nuisance or public order, then he can be detained. Okay, he can be detained for maximum of 1 year, detained for maximum of 1 year without, this is a question, without any reason. That is a question here. So many of the protesters have said that to suffocate the voice of agitators, against the government projects. See, many protesters have said argument of the protesters. So protesters have said that this kind of rules or laws has been brought to suffocate the voice of agitators against government projects. So it is, the protesters said that you are against. See, the protesters, they are telling that you are suffocating our voice against the government projects. So protesters also said that there is no need of such kind of law. Need of such kind of law. Why? Why there is no need of such kind of law? See, already according to NCRB, National Crime Record Bureau, the crime rates in 2020 has been recorded at 86, whereas in 2019 it was 121. Already the crime rates are coming down, right? The crime rate is very low. Very low. So in such situation, why you are bringing such kind of laws which is raising or which is against the voice of the local people? You are curbing the voice of the local people. Okay, protests. So under this is a Gunda Act which has been brought. But this is a side of the argument which was prepared, the side of the argument of the protesters, the local people. But the argument of the government is we are going to develop Lakshadweep, development of Lakshadweep on par as tourist hub. This is the main argument. Now, how can we be sure that crime will not rise? That is a major question put forth by the government. How can you assure that the crime may not rise or may rise? How can you assure that crime will not rise? Assure that crime may not rise. That is a question put forth by the government. So you tell me how the crime rate will not rise is a question put forth by the government. Now, Lakshadweep, also one more thing is that Lakshadweep is an internationally strategical point. It is on the international route. Who? The Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep was in the international route. Now it is a strategic location, significance also. Strategic significance also, because this changes of, why it is strategic location, because there is a lot of changes that is taking place in the international scenario, right? So in such situation, there might be changes of illegal drugs, illegal trafficking, illegal arms and ammunitions. So we need to protect these areas. We need to look at the importance of these areas. So changes in the illegal drug trafficking, illegal arms and ammunitions. So this is not a new act, Gunda Act, which has already been implemented in many of the states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, UP, etc. So in many of the states, it has been implemented. So the Prevention of Anti-Social Regulations PASA is a Gunda Act. Okay, they say it is a Gunda Act. That means to curb the public nuisance and against the public orders. Those who are against the public orders, right? So this is your prevention of antisocial activities regulation. Now, next one is animal prevention regulation. What is this animal prevention regulation? See, animal prevention regulations, two things has been brought. One is that there will be a ban on cow slaughter, and there will be a ban on buying, selling, and transportation of animals. So, what are the arguments put forth by the local people? The protesters or the local people says that 70% of the population is belonging to one community who are prefer to eat meat, who are preferring to eat the meat. So protesters are making claim, these protesters are also making the claim that these protesters, local people, are making claim based on Allahabad High Court judgment. High Court judgment. What the High Court said, that right to choice of food, right to choice of food, that means right to food. Right to food is an Article 21 article, which comes under Article 21. Okay, so this is your one, that is argument of the local people. But the argument of government is that government says that they wanted to protect milch plus new breeding milch animals, and this is under Article 48 DPSP, Direct to Principles of State Policies. Now, this says that state can make rules on ban of cow slaughter. So under Article 48, state can make rules on ban of cow slaughter. So this is an argument put forth by the government from their side, and this is an argument put forth by the local people from their side. Now the next one is about your panchayat regulations. Now this is also which one has created chaos in the Lakshadweep new draft rules. So what is this Panchayat Regulations Act? Panchayat Regulations Act says one cannot contest panchayat elections if he is parent of more than two child. That means at the time of the notification, he should not have any child. That is, he should not have more than two child. So one cannot contest this one. And the other is 50% of the seats were reserved for the women. And many of the locals are also, they don't see that they do not look into this issue very seriously. But still, the local people says that whatever the 50% reservations has been made, it is a discriminatory in nature. Okay, it is a discriminatory. The people says that, local people say that it is a discriminatory in nature. But the argument put forth by the government against these two is that we wanted to empower women, empowerment of women. This is a main argument that has been put forth. Then also population control is also an argument put forth. Why? Because the population density, if you see, of Lakshadweep is 2,149 per kilometer. But whereas the national average, if you see, it is 384 per kilometer. So there is huge population which is growing. So for that reason, Panchayati Regulations Act was introduced. Now, the next is Lakshadweep Development Authority Regulation 2021. This is the draft of this thing. So what is there in this? You see, first one, Constitution of Lakshadweep Development Authority. That means here under this, there will be one chairperson, one town planning, town planning person official, and 4 nominated officials by the government, plus 2 members of local body. So these is constitution of your Lakshadweep Development Authority. Now these authorities are to prepare, what they do generally, they prepare land use maps, which is carrying out for zoning. They will divide into zones. So A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4, X, Y, Z zones, they will prepare it. So zonation, carry out zonation or zoning for a type of land use. Now, can I say for this you require land acquisition, right? So the land acquisition is one of the biggest problem here, I'll tell you. And here also land uses, indicating areas for the proposed national highways. For what purpose? National highways, ring roads, for streets, etc., for the development. Okay, this is your one. Then they also have defined development. Development means what here? Building, comma, engineering, mining, quarrying, or other operations in, on, over, or under land. That is your development. They said this is a development. And also fee for changing the zones. See, what is this fee for changing the zones? Is suppose there is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4. Now I am living in zone 4 or 1. I wanted to change the zone from 1 to 4. So I have to pay the fee. It implies that localities would be required to pay the fee to gain the approval of alter zones as per developmental plans. So they have to fee for permission to develop their own land. That is, this is nothing but a fee for permission to develop own land. Okay, that means to move away. Now, what is an argument of the protesters? See, the argument of the protesters, they say, the locals says that, see, whatever you are developing, these draft rules, they are on par with real estate interest. That means administrative have brought this because of the pressure from the real estate. And if they are bringing this because of the real estate people, they are creating unnecessary hike in prices, in the Lakshadweep, like what we have seen in the other states also, right? So this is, so what was that? So here first one is real estate interest. That means creating unnecessary hike in the prices. Unnecessary hike in prices. Skyrocket. Prices will be skyrocketed now because of these rules, new drafts. Second is forcible relocation. And okay, what is this? This is nothing but because of the development. See, when your development is taking place, what will happen? There will be a displacement of the people. So displacement of people will take place. See, Development should be on par. The economic process should include, see, whenever your displacement is taking place, you are showing more interest on the economic rather than the other factors or other parameters. So economic process should be in such a way that the environment as well as sustainable development parameters should be taken into consideration. That is the main thing. Why? Because they are more concerned, these Lakshadweep people, they are more concerned with the environment rather than the other economic activities. So they are more concerned, they are more dependent on the environment. So economic activities should be on par with your economic development, the environment plus sustainable development. Okay, that is a second argument. Third argument is destruction of culture. So what happened? Islanders are living with the close associated with the environment now, because of which you are destroying the culture of that Lakshadweep island people. But the government said that, what is an argument of the government then? The government says that even after 73 years of the independence, the islanders' development is at low pace. Development is at low pace. So we wanted to develop on par with Maldives. Maldives are the same situation. So they wanted to develop on par with the Maldives, like tourist hub. Okay, tourist hub. So they wanted to develop the Lakshadweep also on the same manner. So thank you one and all. So this was about your Lakshadweep. Thank you.